Welcome to Design Much with Andy and Patrick.
It's fun.
Hey, Andy.
Hey, Patrick.
You're back.
I'm back.
Temporarily back.
What do you mean temporarily back?
I lost in the last 2 weeks, Andy. I've lost two things in my life.
Really?
Yeah, I lost a tooth, the L14, just
L14.
for dentists who listen,
Mm-hmm.
and then I lost you as a Canopy employee, as a coworker.
That's right.
We no longer are coworkers.
That's right. I left Canopy. This is the truth. You lost me as a coworker. But
Coworker,
you
yes.
didn't lose me as a co-host.
No,
Which is
and
a good
hopefully not a friend, but that we'll see.
I
We'll
thought,
see how
I
that
thought
goes.
that was just without saying.
I mean, will we ever really? I don't know.
Well, maybe we should figure that out right now. Should we define the relationship? What are we doing here, Patrick?
I don't know, man. Is this really the platform we should do this in?
Maybe.
I think we're more than acquaintances, Andy. I think
would
there's
agree.
a friendship here. I don't know at what level, if it's healthy or not.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's definitely a friendship here. Otherwise, you wouldn't come back to Canopy,
Yeah.
to the old recording studio,
I would not be here.
and record this podcast today.
Yeah.
You would have been like, I'm done. I'm out. Design much this, Patrick, right?
I wouldn't use design much as a verb.
No, you wouldn't.
Because it's a noun. It's a thing that lives and breathes.
Yeah, it's a noun. Anyway, this is the Thanksgiving episode,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And Patrick, to start us off,
Yes.
I just want to take some time to thank all of our users, all of our listeners.
Is this the gratitude journal part?
Uh-huh. Yeah. To thank them all for listening, for submitting wonderful topics,
Mm-hmm.
for your iTunes reviews, and for being awesome designers in a great community of humble people.
Yeah. I would
You would agree with that?
I would agree with that.
Yeah. I'm not sure our listeners know what that means yet.
That means I agree. When you knock, that means you agree.
Yeah, so that means you agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
So their other listeners right now are knocking on their tables or their steering wheels or their
steering
dashboards,
wheels.
agreeing with you. Yeah. We got good reviews. We've got people seem to like the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
the pod.
Yep.
If they hated it, we would still keep doing it, though.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true.
So, I mean, it's great to have them, and we're grateful for them. And we're grateful for was there 2 people that bought shirts? We're grateful for that. That was nice.
That's right. 2 people.
That was nice.
That's been really big help.
Let's see in 2020 if we can double that number.
I don't know. That's a big ask.
200% sales. But speaking of gratitude, Andy, let's talk a little bit about Thanksgiving before we get into our topic.
Okay.
Now, what is your take on Thanksgiving? Are you a Thanksgiving
Oh dear.
enjoyer or are you a Thanksgiving hater?
Okay. I am not. I'll be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of Thanksgiving as a holiday. I'll just say that now
Yeah,
because
this is going to be one hell of a polarizing podcast, Andy.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Do you like Thanksgiving?
I don't like Thanksgiving.
Okay. I think it's in terms of a celebration of something, like it really just like the being thankful part is great, right? You take some time as people to be thankful for something. I think that's the best part of it. The rest of it is like you're just really sitting down to eat a lot of food, which you kind of do every day, and I don't think that's super special.
Yeah, I would agree.
And the watching football, I am not a fan of watching football. That's not special to me. The thing I do like is the part that's not Thanksgiving, which is like all of the electronics that go on sale.
Yeah.
That's something I can appreciate for sure, that I am thankful
You're
for.
a Black Friday guy?
I'm a Black Friday
You're a
guy.
black Thanksgiving. It's not even Friday anymore. It's just like
Yeah.
I think Black Friday deals start right now.
It's kind of like Black November,
yeah.
Black Month.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Black
Yeah,
History
I was going to
Month.
say, that's February, right? No, I agree. I agree with you, Andy. I don't understand why we need more than one day, or why we need one day a year to be grateful for the things we have in our lives. Should be every damn day, right? So that doesn't make sense to me. I don't also see how the gratitude part goes into the traditional Thanksgiving part of like pilgrims and stuff coming here. Like, I don't get that part at all. Sure. I don't get that connection at all.
I mean, you know the story, right?
Yeah. But it's just it's and why we would celebrate that, I don't really understand either. But like that whole part. Plus, I agree with you. Like, this is not something that Americans do on any like. Like, Americans do this every Sunday. Yeah. Like, in general. Like, hey, family, come over, have some turkey or ham or whatever and watch football and do this and blah, you know. It's like, if it was a very unique food of some kind or had a connection to something to celebrate, then maybe. Yeah. I just don't quite understand why it's a holiday. Yeah. And I never have.
I agree. The food is not unique. Like, just eating, like, turkey and mashed potatoes, like, that is a Sunday dinner. Absolutely. And, like, also, like, pies. Come on. Pies?
Yeah. Pies? Who eats pies? Right. Nobody wants pies.
Nobody wants that. But, like, yeah, you'll have that, like, every Sunday. You do that all the time. This time you just kind of buy a lot more food that you're going to throw away. Yeah. And you spend a lot more time doing dishes, like, because, you got out the fancy china, right? Yeah. Like
and it just aggravates people. People get mad at each other. It's like... We go to the Olive Garden on Friday. Like, just that's it. That's the thing. Yeah. Just when you're there, sit down and say, "Hey, I'm thankful for you guys." Just like
you should do that
on a regular
Sunday,
basis.
You should say, "I'm thankful for you guys," and you should follow the same rules you follow on Thanksgiving. Do not talk about politics to your family members.
Politics or religion are out.
Yeah, don't talk about any
which won't happen. It will happen.
It will happen
Thursday.
Yeah, one person's going to say, "Oh, can you believe what's going on with this and that?" Yeah. And then everybody blows up, and then it's like
somebody's going to come up. You hear about Hillary? What Hillary did? It's like, okay, here we go.
And then you just want to sit at the kid table, right?
Yeah.
Which the best part of Thanksgiving is the kid table.
Yeah. Or the mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah, you a mashed potato guy?
Man, they're pretty good. My problem with those is they are way too filling. Like, you'll have just a little bit and you're done. You don't need any.
Well, you got to be careful with those because they're more like the mortar.
Exactly.
Between the bricks.
Exactly. They're just like way
you
too
want
filling.
enough of them, but if you could fill up completely on mortar.
Yep.
And then you just have like a mortar wall, and
exactly.
Like, it wouldn't do anything.
But there's a lot of those things. Like, there's also like the rolls, which are great too.
Yeah.
You're gonna get way too full on those.
Yep.
So you have to get like a little like spoonful of each item because there's too many items.
Do you eat turkey?
I do, but I'm not like that big of a not that big of a fan of just that format of turkey.
Yeah.
If it's in a sandwich, though, Patrick.
Anything in a sandwich, I know we'll hit you right in the heart. Remember when I made the counteroffer and I put it in a sandwich?
Yes.
I wish I would have done that. All right. Thanksgiving sucks. We both agree. The time off is nice, but we could be more productive.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Halloween and Christmas, the two greatest holidays of all time.
Exactly.
Other than I always like Cinco de Mayo, but people tell me it's not a real holiday and blah 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 blah. Whatever.
It's not a real
like whatever.
Who was telling you that? Let's bring them on the.
Some people from Mexico were telling me it's not a real holiday, and I was brokenhearted to think that it was not a real holiday.
I didn't know that. This is the first
in
time
Mexico
I've heard
where
this.
it's supposed to come from.
No way.
Yeah.
Is it a made-up American holiday?
No, it's not. It's like it's not. They don't really like. They were telling me from where they lived in Chihuahua, Mexico.
Okay.
That they didn't celebrate Cinco de Mayo at all.
No way. That's amazing.
And then only like lame people celebrated Cinco de Mayo.
We'll have to add this.
Why would only lame people celebrate that? It seems like a great holiday to me.
Yeah.
Why not pick May 5th and celebrate something? I mean,
you have that.
May doesn't really have anything.
You're really like you're really like hungover from May 4th.
Yeah.
You're celebrating with all your Star Wars.
Yeah,
stuff.
but that's got to go away. I don't.
Blue milk
That's worse than drinking the blue milk. So gross. That has to go away.
It's not going away, Patrick.
No, it needs to go away. That whole thing, that and when people celebrate like Harry Potter's birthday, it needs to go away.
Oh, really? I didn't know
if I could put things in a shoebox and burn them and they would never show up again, The May the 4th be with you pun needs to be put in that shoebox and burned to death. I hate that. When people celebrate freaking fictional characters, their birthdays, like, that's got to go away, right, Andy?
I guess so.
Have you ever celebrated Harry Potter's birthday?
I don't know when his birthday is.
Yeah, just like a normal human being should know.
Normal human being. We're losing so many listeners.
Birthdays are questionable just for real humans if we need to celebrate them every year, let alone freaking Harry Potter. Like,
Yeah.
Anyway,
If you're above like 18, you don't need to celebrate your birthday anymore.
no, not until you get closer to death.
Then you celebrate it.
Yeah, like when you hit 60, 65, 70, 80.
What's the point there, though?
It'd be the same thing as when you're coming up from 0 to 18. The only difference is you don't know when you're going to die. So it's like you got to start. At some point, you got to guess. You're like, we're going to celebrate my birthday for 18 years until I die, but we don't know when it's going to happen. So you start at like 65, 66.
Okay.
Because you should celebrate that. I mean, if you've lived 85 years on this earth, if you survived that, you should celebrate your birthday.
Okay.
But a 31-year-old guy doesn't need to celebrate his birthday.
No.
Makes no sense.
No.
Maybe 30, like maybe the milestones. Like you hit 18, then you hit 21. I think 21, you should quit. That should be like your big celebration, go out, drink alcohol, all that stuff.
Sure.
Unless you're in Europe and then it's like you drank since you were a kid or
Since
whatever.
you were like 8, yeah.
Yeah. So like, but at least in the United States, it's like 21, go out, get lit, and then celebrate being an adult. And then when you're 30, you can kind of celebrate being an adult, but in
Okay.
more of a depressing, like, this sucks to be an adult way. And then 65. Just like quit after that.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I want to go on the record, though, and say, like, there's a difference between celebrating your birthday and getting birthday presents. Because, like, celebrating is when you, like, throw yourself a party and you,
Yeah.
like, have all your friends over.
Are
and
you?
Post it on Instagram. I still want to get birthday
That's
presents,
what I
Patrick.
thought you were doing. That's the American way right
Yeah,
there.
I love getting birthday presents. So,
Just another fake holiday to receive stuff.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
the receiving is great.
Yep. Okay, we're in this 12 minutes already.
It's a good opener.
Should we should we talk about an actual design topic?
I think we probably should,
from one of our grateful listeners.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and spin up the random number generator machine here.
Okay.
And it looks like
It's quiet today.
it's a little quiet
Yeah.
today. Yeah. It's whirring more efficiently than most days.
Yeah.
So our topic today, Patrick, comes from a listener named Paul Fox.
Ooh, Paul Fox.
Yes. And the topic is a pretty interesting one. It is designers being threatened by each other's skills.
This is a good one.
So let's unpack this. What does that mean? So if a designer is
Designers
threatened
being
by another
threatened.
designer's skills,
Yeah. Has that ever happened to you, Andy? Have you ever worked with a designer that you felt was better than you for some reason, even if it wasn't true, maybe, and you felt threatened by their skills?
yes.
Ooh, you have. Ooh.
I've felt not exactly threatened,
Yeah.
but I have definitely worked with designers that are better than me in every aspect. In every job I've had, I've worked with designers that are better than me. And not exactly threatened, per se,
Yeah.
but I have felt like, dang, I got to step up my game, right? In whatever aspect they're better at me than, right? So I don't know if I've really.
But your approach was different because you were like, there was the recognition that this designer was better than me, or all of the designers were better than me.
Yeah.
There was a recognition of that fact, but your reaction was not to be threatened by that.
Mm-hmm.
Your reaction was to learn or improve or improve yourself so you could be as good as them or better than them, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Has any other designer ever treated you poorly because you weren't as good as they perceive themselves to be?
I mean, I've worked with lots of designers that have treated me poorly, Patrick. Just looking at one right now.
Yeah, I don't know why she's in here.
No, thinking back to my career, I can't really think of anything like that. Someone treating me poorly. Fortunately, I haven't had that scenario in my life.
Yeah, it sounds like a very toxic environment.
Yeah.
But you kind of approached it as not necessarily even. That's what I was asking. Like, it wasn't in your case. It's not necessarily like there's a chip on my shoulder to be better than them and take them out. It's more like I just want to make sure that I just there's a recognition that they're better than I am, and I have skills that I need to improve on. Mm-hmm. Therefore, I can use them to improve on those skills, or just improve on my skills to be in their realm of skilldom. They're like level, they're like a level 3, and you're like a level 2. Mm-hmm. And you got to get up there, right?
I would agree. Yeah, it's definitely like as I've grown as a designer, I realize like it's okay to like not have everything down, because nobody does.
Yeah.
I think in any profession, nobody has anything like everything perfectly mastered. Of course.
I don't know, the gas station attendant over at the Holiday that I visit every once in a while, he's got it down.
Does he have it down?
Yeah, I would.
What does he do that's so good?
If there was like a Golden Globe equivalent of being a gas station like attendant, he would win every year, man. Like Lifetime Achievement Award.
Really?
He's just super friendly, nice guy. He's been there for years. Great dude.
Okay. That's really good to hear.
So let's not single out. There's a couple where you can really perfect this.
And I think we should bring that guy in. I want to learn from him. That sounds really great.
Maybe we'll bring him in. Ask him when the donuts are delivered. Kind of speaking to this. This made me think of something. There's an illustration by this really awesome designer named Pablo Stanley. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Bring up Pablo.
I love Pablo. And there's this illustration that I've seen it once, and it's always stuck with me. I just saw it on Twitter, and it's like it has like two panes, and it shows like and I'll just try to describe this the best I can. There's 2 panes to this illustration. On the left, it has like this like guy, and it says junior designer, and this junior designer like going into a critique has all of this armor, like this knight's armor and everything, and he's like. It's all geared up to go. He's very afraid to go get this feedback. And then the next pane over is labeled senior designer, and it shows this designer with his like shirt off, and he's like his arms is open. He's like free to receive
floating on a cloud.
Free to receive this feedback. And that has like been like the biggest thing for me. I always think about that. And it's that like you're so ready to just, and it like that's like speaks humility to me. Like you're always just ready to learn something new, and it doesn't matter if someone's better. Like I think that illustration of the junior designer felt very threatened. So they're like very like, Well,
and obviously defensive, right? And
defensive, exactly.
Like you're in this defensive mode.
Yeah.
And you're putting on your armor so you can defend your territory.
Yeah.
Versus the other guy's like, shoot an arrow in my chest. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this a little bit. Like some designers are very insecure because design is such a strange profession. Like you feel like everybody doesn't know what we do.
Yeah.
And one day they're just going to come up and be like, why do I pay you all this money?
Yeah.
Like anybody can, sketch this wireframe out.
I could do that too. You're like, all right.
Yeah, you got
game's
me.
up.
What took you so long?
That's what I hope. I hope I go out like that. Like when everybody turns around and says, "What do you guys actually do?" I'm gonna be like, "All right, nice, nice knowing you guys." I'll just leave my computer here, and I'll be out.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be like, "Oh, you don't know the ROI of a design." I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like. I want to be like, "Oh, the end is it's done." It's done. Just lower me down.
It was a good run.
Yeah. My design tombstone say, I tried. I got away with it for a while. No, but I feel like in my career, I've been through times where I've been very insecure, and I think even like now, like you get insecure about designs, like that doesn't change. But I think. You get insecure about designs, your ideas, everything like that. But I think I don't know. I always thought the sign of a good senior designer was somebody who was humble.
Yeah.
And I think to Paul's point that I think he's trying to bring up is he's probably experienced people that were senior designers that were not humble, and they were threatened by other, designers, or maybe even he feels like he's threatened by other designers. And I think that's a sign. Like in my mind, that's always been a sign of immaturity. I think we all have that emotion, right? The insecure, like, oh, I don't know. But it's like how we deal with it. Like in your case, you kind of dealt with it more like, well, I got to step up my game somehow.
Yeah.
Hopefully you go to those other designers and they're humble enough to help you out, and they're not going to kick you in the teeth and knock you down and make you put the armor on. Hopefully they're more of the Zen-like people that want you to be Zen-like. But yeah, I've always seen that as like that's the hallmark of a senior designer is the day you realize that you suck at design.
Yeah.
Has always been kind of more my motto. I think I remember telling you guys that. Like the day that you realize that you're not a good designer is the day that you become like the senior designer. And then the following day is the day where you realize that you have skills and you want to share those with other people. Like to me, that's what a senior designer title would mean at any company.
That's awesome.
Or anywhere. And so I've always struggled with this because like when I've interviewed at other places or when I've done other things, as a more skilled designer, we all have different skills because we all come from different places. So sometimes it's hard to compare skills together. Even though we're both UX designers or product designers, it's hard to compare those skills one to one because there's just so many that you can have, and there's so many different perspectives you can have on it. So it's hard to compare those skills. But I remember like getting interviewed and interviewing people, and other people being threatened by, kind of pushing you aside. When you can totally see that you can add something to their team.
Yeah.
Like you're like, no, the skill that I have is actually really good for your team. But then that other team is like, yeah, but you're going to take my job if we hire you, or you're going to like come in and try to like run the place, or you're going to come in and give all these other ideas. That's where I feel like that's where your insecurity and your immaturity as a designer shows.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that while there are people that will be jerks, right, and come in and do that, I think that's a different case. I think there's legit people that would come in and try to do harm on your team. Like as a hiring manager, like I think there are people that you could hire that can damage your team, damage your product.
Yeah, definitely. Stuff
like that. I think that's a different thing than this person is good. This person's a good designer, and you're in a group interview and you're like, man, this, she's talking about everything that's like everything she's talking about is so good, and then you're starting to feel like that. Oh, if my manager hires her, then that makes me look bad because they're a better designer than I am. Like that's the kind of thing where I think that's where people can get threatened by other people, and then that turns into I don't want to work with that person because they're not a culture fit.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to work with that person because they make up a story. And I think that's bad. I think that's very toxic.
Yeah, and you think of like the outcome of that, like if you did hire that person that is really good at this thing, they could teach you that thing.
Yeah.
And you could become a really good designer.
Yeah.
But, by saying, no, I don't want them there, it just leaves you in the dark in your own vacuum of not learning this thing.
Yeah.
So it's like it actually damages you in the long run for sure.
Yeah, it could damage the team. It could stagnate everyone for sure. Like I think it's good. I think it's a good practice to have people that are better at other skills that you're not good at, right? To work with.
Yeah, what's that saying? Like surround yourself by people who are better than you at everything.
Yeah, something
it's
like
not
that.
Exactly that.
But there's a lot of companies though that I think, and I don't. There's a term for this, like that philosophy. Like a manager will only hire people that are not as good as them, so they can elevate themselves, to their bosses. And I think that's totally 100% in this realm of they feel threatened by other people.
Yeah.
When in actuality, like if you're a manager of a team, like when we started building the team here at Canopy, it was like I want to hire people that aren't me. I want to hire people that are way better than me. That was just my initial thought, because if I hire a bunch of people like me, then I know exactly what's going to happen. It's going to look what I like. It's going to be what I do, right? But if you hire a bunch of other people that are better than you, then it's going to be better with the idea that, if personally in my career and my growth, that would make me look better because I hired people that were better than me as a manager or hiring manager, rather than the opposite. Like, rather than being like, well, they're going to make me look bad. I thought that would make me look better. And maybe I'm naive and that's silly, but I don't know. I think that just makes more sense to me.
No, imagine.
And if they are better, they can do the job better. Then good for them. Let them do
good for everything.
Yeah, let them do the freaking job better.
It's good for the company. It's good for the users. It's good for everybody. And like, think about like if you put yourself like in the shoes of your manager. Say you're the hiring manager of a UX designer, and then your manager looks and sees like, oh, Patrick is really good at hiring people that are good at doing their job. Versus he can hire people and fill in positions, but they're not very good at their job.
But everybody sucks.
Yeah. So I mean, like it's always good to hire the people that are like really good. That's what you want to look for, right?
Yeah.
Even if you notice they might be better than you probably should do it.
Yeah.
So Patrick, if you are a designer who has felt this in the past, felt
threatened or been on the other side.
You felt if you felt threatened, basically, if you felt this before and you've not wanted to have somebody join your team or not wanted to work with somebody because you think they would look better than you, what steps do you think you would take to try to reverse this?
I think it's hard. It's hard.
Oh, yeah.
The first one would be take the armor off. With Pablo's cartoon, with his illustration, the first thing that you would notice between the two things is the armor, right?
Yeah.
And that's the defensive nature. I think because design is subjective, because design has because it's not done it's not only done one way, it can be done a million different ways. I think it's way easy. It's a profession that's really easy to get defensive in.
Yeah.
Especially because, as we all know, according to Spool, everybody can do it. So it's like, why not? It's way too easy to get defensive when everybody in society can do a better job than you.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that would be the first thing, is to take the armor off and look at it from what skills you can offer everyone else. Like, what are your skills that you can offer? So take the armor off. Say, what are skills that I'm really good at, and then double down on those things, and not worry so much about your weaknesses. Like, you don't have to be a good designer and just always constantly try to fill all the gaps of your own weaknesses, because some of those may always be weaknesses.
Yeah.
Like, some of those may always be things that you're just not very good at, no matter how much practice. But if you're good at something already, that means you can be way better at it, right? Mm-hmm. You can just always constantly improve. I think that would be my thing, is in my personal case, that's what I've tried to do anyway, is like, what am I good at? And ask people what you're good at. Yeah. Take down the armor and say, we've worked together for a year and a half or 2 years or whatever it is. Like, what are my strengths? What am I good at? And then take those back and then double down on those.
Yeah.
Not only will it make you feel better, because you can be like, well, I am good at stuff. I don't just suck. I mean, hopefully people don't come back and like, I can't think of anything. You're real good at coming to work on time. Yeah. You're great at that. Well, let me double down and come 5 minutes early every day. Like, hopefully there's some actual like strengths that you offer. I would hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, tear that down and then quit being defensive about your stuff, because everybody has feedback for you. Mm-hmm. And as a designer, that's your job, is to facilitate that feedback.
Yeah.
And put it into, get that feedback and then synthesize it down into a nice design that's good for everyone, right? Exactly. And good for your customers. I mean, it's being humble. It's what it is.
Exactly. And as designers, we're always like looking for, like, we're trying to uncover those pains, those user pains that they're feeling with experiences. Mm-hmm. Imagine if you tried to do that with your manager. Ooh. You sat down with your manager, like, what pains are you experiencing with me?
There's a novel idea. Talk to your manager.
Yes. And some managers may not be great at this, at telling you what you're not great at or helping you improve. But if you're not already, I would definitely look for ways, like talk to your manager and try to find open a dialogue with them and talk about
Yeah.
where you can improve as an employee of the company, as a
Yeah.
designer.
Yeah. What do I need to improve? What's good about me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully you have a good manager that's at least open to that conversation. Some managers aren't. I think a lot of managers are not great managers. You know, they're kind of they're put in as managers because they're the most senior person or whatever, so they're
Sure.
not quite as good. But you can coach them up. You know, that's your job as a one of their team members,
Yeah.
is to help them become a better manager.
If they don't know how to do it, you could just, and if they're
Yeah.
not doing it, you're like, well, I want to get feedback from you.
Yeah, give them a challenge. Let them become better managers.
Exactly.
You mentor them.
Yeah. Because we can all learn from each other, right, Patrick?
Yeah.
Even, designers that are better than us, or designers that are maybe worse than us. You can learn something from them.
Yep.
You don't know.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Does that work?
I think that works.
It's a good episode.
Yeah.
Back to Thanksgiving real quick.
Wait, I have to say something before.
Oh,
Thanksgiving,
yeah.
Because you brought something up and I forgot to answer your question like a long time ago.
A long
left
time ago?
At the beginning of this episode.
Oh, okay.
Which was a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
I left Canopy, Patrick.
Yeah, you did.
And I joined another team. So I actually joined the Workfront design team. So shout out to all those peeps.
Shout out to the peeps at Workfront.
Yeah, shout out to the peeps at Workfront.
All the
Great
peeps
designers
back
there.
at Workfront.
Yeah, because I just
Yeah.
came from there.
Yeah,
So it's back where I came from.
at Workfront.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a work back? Is there another company called Workback?
I'm sure there is.
Or is there another company called
Let's Google this now.
Google Workback. See what you get. Or is there another company? What's the opposite of work? Would it be? It's not lazy.
No.
No, it would be like, I'm not working. I'm stagnating. No, that's like more progress. I'm not doing work. Front. Sans work front.
There's apparently a thing called a work back schedule. I don't know what that means.
Oh, that sounds weird.
But I don't see a company called Work Back. Man,
There should be
that's
maybe.
interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting, Patrick.
I have a task for you, Andy, before the next episode or the next couple of episodes.
Okay.
Return to Workfront. And I do want to know where the name comes from. I've never really known that.
Okay.
It seems like a very unique name. I like it. It's got a good ring to it and everything. You know?
Sure.
But I don't know where it comes from. Like, what's the origin of the Workfront?
I'll have to find out.
And then I really love the lion logo.
I do too.
Like, that's a pretty sweet logo.
It's a solid logo.
But how does that relate to Workfront? Like, are they ravenous about working? Like, I don't quite. I love the brand and I love it all, but I don't see the origin. I don't know how the origin is. There's probably some PDF floating around over there in the office that you can grab, and
I think there literally
has like
is.
the origin
It
of
has,
the
like,
Workfront.
all of the brand guidelines and everything.
I could probably even Google it right now
That's
and learn
possible,
about it.
But you should just make me do it. That makes more sense.
Alternatives to Thanksgiving turkey. Andy, real quick. Number 1, spicy orange honey glazed ham.
I was gonna say that, dude. Ham is the best. It is
Ham
so
is
much better.
way better than
It
turkey.
is so much better.
Is ham better than turkey because it's more like the consistency of a human?
What?
You know when they use You know when they do experiments about humans? They don't want to use humans to do experiments. Like, what would happen if you stabbed a human 17 times? Like, what does the skin do? Things like that, you know? Like,
They use
want to
ham
do
for this?
They use pig,
No way.
which is ham, right?
Okay.
At least that's what I've assumed.
I-
Because pigs have a similar body chemistry and consistency as a human being.
Okay.
You know, they're fat, full of goo, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Versus like a turkey is really
Those are
like a bird. It's a dinosaur, so it's like. Anyway, weird relation to cannibalism there. Number 2, Rosemary Glazed Cornish hens. Have you ever had a Cornish hen?
No.
I have never had a Cornish hen.
Rosemary
That seems weird
glaze
to me.
sounds good, but the rest of it, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of bony.
Yeah, it sounds like you eat a fish with like you get those thin bones.
Yeah.
Because a Cornish hen's like a little small hen. It's like a little small thing. It's like a baby hen.
Mini turkeys, right?
Yeah. Garlic. Number 3, garlic rosemary beef tenderloin roast. Now I can get behind this.
Whoa.
All day,
That
any
sounds
day.
amazing. Yes.
Anything with garlic, rosemary, beef with the name tenderloin.
Yeah.
Stick it in my mouth. I don't care what it is. Number 4, braised lamb chops with cranberry harissa chutney. I don't know what that is. Have you ever had lamb? Do you eat lamb?
No, I don't eat
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm not into that. That seems wrong, right?
It does.
Lamb?
It kind of does.
Rum. Number 5, rum and pomegranate roast duck.
I'm not a big duck
I'm a
fan.
big duck fan.
Mm-mm.
I've never had duck. This number 6 sounds completely. This sounds like heresy, and like this sounds worse than a turkey. Although it has pizza in it, so maybe Brussels sprout mushroom pizza.
No.
That's a solid no, right?
That's a
like.
solid
Why would
no.
you like if you're gonna pick
Brussels
a pizza? Why would you
sprout
put
pizza?
Brussels sprouts and mushrooms on
And
it?
mushrooms especially. Ugh.
Makes no sense. Number 7, lasagna with pumpkin and sage infused
No.
something.
No.
I can't say that last
I
name.
don't need the lasagna piece. Sounds wonderful. I don't need pumpkin.
You don't
in
need
there.
pumpkin?
No.
I always associate pumpkin more with Halloween
Yes.
more than I do.
Why is it part of Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, there's the pumpkin pie element, but I don't get it.
Yeah, but that's still pie. Like, you could do without that and be just fine as a human.
Yep.
Number 8, oven roast duck legs with butternut squash puree.
What? Duck legs?
Duck legs. This one says, seared and then roasted. These duck legs are super crispy. Yeah, duck legs. Yeah, that's.
I don't know how you can eat
I think
that.
that's a hard no for me. A duck leg.
I can't imagine eating that.
They just have little legs too. They don't like. There's,
There's
no
no-
meat.
there's
Like,
no
is there
meat
meat
on
on a duck leg?
It's got to
They're
be
just like little sticks with flappers on them.
100% bone, right?
Yeah, maybe there's meat up where the leg goes inside where all the feathers are.
Oh, okay. I guess that's part
I
of
don't
it.
know. I'm not a biologist. I have no idea. Number 9, butternut, apple, and goat cheese stuffed pork tenderloin. Can you get behind that,
I think
Andy?
so. There's tenderloin in that word.
Tenderloin plus pork
Yeah, pork.
and goat cheese. I'm a little worried about the apple.
It might just
Apple's
be a
okay.
light seasoning, though.
Yeah,
I don't think
apple's
it's gonna be
alright.
a problem.
Number 10, stuffed butternut squash. That seems wrong and not something that you should eat.
What is butternut?
It's squash.
Oh, that's the part. That's the squash.
Yeah,
that's the type of squash.
Butternut squash.
What are you stuffing the squash with then?
It says, we don't know about you, but this sounds like heaven to us. Not to mention, it's healthy and hearty, so you won't feel guilty about going back for a second helping. It doesn't tell us anything about what's stuffed in that butternut squash.
That's interesting. I'm not opposed to squash.
I am.
I've had some good squash.
You had good squash?
Yeah.
I don't think it's real.
You
It's
don't
like
think
squash.
It's real.
I don't think it's something we should be eating.
Okay.
It seems really bland and like, yeah, why would anybody want to? Seems like a food you have to do a lot too to make it taste good.
Well, you do. You put like a lot of butter
Yeah.
on it,
Yeah,
and then it's great. Yeah.
which is like anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you could put. Let's take this piece of paper. Let's put a bunch of butter on it. Would you eat it for $10? Yeah, I'd probably eat it for $10.
Well, if I'm being paid to eat it, I mean, that's
Yeah.
one thing.
Would you eat if I gave you a piece of paper with butter all over? Would you eat it?
Depends on how much you pay me. And is this like melted butter?
Next
Is it-
time on Design Much Podcast, how much money will it take for Andy to eat a piece of paper covered with butter? All right, Andy. Have fun on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you too, man.
See ya in December.
Alrighty.